Darryl, just team-wise, first of all, are you pondering any potential changes for Friday?
Uh, yeah. There's a couple, but not many. We came through last week reasonably okay. So yeah, there'd be one or two. Um, yeah, we're pretty happy where we're at. Max is still not right. So we're a couple of weeks away from getting some other players back, but we're all right. We competing pretty well. I thought we were pretty good last week. We're in a good place, so it is what it is. It's a long season, and we're going to get these players back at this point. We've just got one or two, maybe. We'll have a look tomorrow after we've trained today, and then I'll have a better idea tomorrow.
Have you got a more precise timescale on Max?
Not really, no. So they've said that they've never seen the injury before, so it's a really strange one. I mean, I was fearful that he'd be out for a long time. I don't think it's going to be that, but it's very difficult to get an exact because, like I say, they've never seen the injury before. It's quite bizarre, really. Um, so yeah, I mean, Josh has done a good job in Max's absence, and he'll go again. So yeah, we hope Max will be back soon. But until then we'll go with next man up, which we've done pretty well this year so far. And Josh is that man who's done a good job for us in lots of ways.
Jake Truman's, excuse me, Jake Truman's dropped out of the squad. Is that still his back? And is it worse than you initially thought?
Yeah, so he's had a scan that's sort of showed a little bit something with his disc. So yeah, we thought he would have recovered for this week, but he hasn't. Yeah, he's going to need a little bit of treatment on that. I don't think it's like long term or anything, but he's still feeling a little bit of discomfort there. So we need to get him fixed up so he's in a good place. And again. Like I said, with Max and Josh stepping in, I think Ollie Russell's been pretty good, and he's stepped in there, and he's been working hard for an opportunity, and he's got a run of games now, so he's been really good for us.
Corey Hall's come back into the squad. Does that give you a bit of a centre conundrum in terms of who gets those two spots?
Yeah, well, he's missed his first game last week. He's had a bit of a rib injury that we think's healed. I've got a call to make. Then obviously the team won last week, and you don't often change a winning team too much. But yeah, again, I'll make that final call tomorrow. Obviously got the bench as well, and making sure that that's right, and that's exactly what we need for the game. So I'll make those calls tomorrow.
You'll have seen Leigh's squad as well. I think last week they had the potential to name 1 to 17, with the exception of number two, and they've got the same this week. Do you think you'll see more of that this week rather than last week in terms of selection?
Well, I saw Adrian Lamb's presser, and he was talking about Robbie Malone being back, which obviously is a pretty important player for them. So yeah, I'd expect them to start with iPappy this week, instead of Dwyer. So that'll be a change. I think that we're ready for, and we're ready for obviously Rob Malone playing as well, which gives them a little bit more firepower up front, which that's generally where games are won and lost. So I think our pack's been immense, and it'll be a good battle again this week.
We spoke last week about the back-to-back fixtures against the same opposition. But did you think there was any sense of either side holding anything back last week?
I don't think so. I think obviously Leigh had lost the week before to OKR. You don't want to lose games at home. You don't want to lose any game. So I don't see any reason why anybody would have done that. We certainly weren't. Like I said, sometimes I've gone into games thinking about the week after and playing slightly differently, but I just felt like we needed to win that game last week. And we went flat out for that game. We got a 7-day turnaround, so I don't think there's anything to be holding things back. If I'm honest, I do think that there'll be tweaks this week to the way that the teams play, based on what you saw last week. and we have to be mindful of that when we're preparing for what we want to do in the game as well. So no, we know it's going to be a really tough game. Leah talking about wanting to play better than they did. Um, and so do we, to be honest. I think that's you're always looking to improve. So um, yeah, we'll see. The best team's gonna on the day generally wins, and we've prepared really well. We know what's coming at us. We know where the key strengths are, and we know we need to be really good again.
And you did make that point, didn't you, after the game that you felt the scoreline, the performance, the outcome will motivate Leigh. Do you have to be mindful of a backlash on Friday?
Yeah, well, I'm not sure it's a backlash, to be honest. I said after the game as well, there wasn't that much in the game. There was. When I asked the boys afterwards, they were like, "Oh, that's a tough game." That they recognised that was a battle, and we defended really positively and got some things on the back end of that, and we got a couple of calls go our way as well. So that's the way it is. We've had probably been on the other side of the calls for most of the season, to be honest. So um, it's the way the cookie crumbles, isn't it? I thought we were deserving of the win last week, but it doesn't do anything for this week. It's another game, an opposition that's got a real motivation. We all have. It's a Challenge Cup, so for us, I've talked about us. Your motivation shouldn't rise and dip. Really, it should stay exactly where it needs to be, and we want our motivation to be the same as it was last week. You don't get too ahead of yourselves. We just feel like we're in a good place. We're really challenging teams, and we feel like we can do that again. But they're a good side, and they can cause you a lot of trouble, particularly if you sit off them and let them play. They've got a fullback who can catch pigeons. So, as the saying goes, you don't want to give him time really, or he's super fast.
You're sitting here 2 wins away from Wembley. What would a place in the semi-finals of the Challenge Cup mean to this group this year?
Oh, well, yeah, these sort of, I played the game for a long time and I've been coaching a long time, and Wembley doesn't come round unless you're very fortunate. And sometimes you're at a club that sort of gets in a bit of a groove with the Challenge Cup, but you don't go there that often. So when you do get opportunities, you want to take them, but it's one game at a time. We can't look too far ahead. It's just this game and being where we need to be from a performance perspective, get that right. It's a 50-50 game, this one. I just think it's tough to call. It'd be tough to call the team that gets the clutch moments right and gets the performance levels right. Then that's going to be the team in the semis. But yeah, I don't think it'll look too far ahead. It's just this game in front of us. It's one-off knockout rugby. Best team's going to win. Make sure we're the best team. That's it.
Just a couple of final points from me, Daryl. Obviously, people will make something, or they might not, of the home form this year. You've come up against some very good sides at home. Have you considered putting the boys on a coach, driving them around for 90 minutes and dropping them back off at Bellevue?
No, I don't. People are asking me about it. I have spoke about it a couple of weeks back, but I'm not going after that too much. I just think we've lost some tight games here, and we've been right in it. St. Helens got away from us a little bit, but the performance levels have been right where we would want them to be. And sometimes, you come on the wrong side of results. I don't think it's anything to do with our performance at times. I think we've been in a great place, and the other teams just got us, at different times. So, I think boys are in a great place, and I'm not going to chase that. I just think it's important that we chill out and relax with that bit, and just make sure we get our game right. And if the wins are going to come when we get that right.
Just lastly for me, we're going to get the chance to speak to Jay Pitts. Just appraise his contribution to the group this year. I think he's 35 years of age.
Yeah, he was telling me he was 31 this morning. We were having a bit of banter in the changing room. So he's been phenomenal, really. I just think his all round game, his ability to connect middle unit and backs, half backs together has been outstanding. I think for the way that like to play the game. He's probably a perfect 13. But I think he's just got so much support there in the middle unit with people like Huddy and Mike McMeekin in particular. There's a real strong sense of leadership around the middle unit and how they're playing the game. He's been excellent. He's a really good communicator, understands the game pretty deeply, and yeah, just the way he's played, so durable and tough. Yeah, he's so good to have around. And I can't say how impressed I've been since I've been at Wakefield.
Good luck on Friday, my friend. I'll see you there. I'll pass you over to everyone else. Cheers,
Thank
Daryl.
you.
Hey Daryl, it's
How you
James. How are you
doing?
doing? Yeah, good, thank you. It's 9 years since Wakefield last reached the semi-finals of the cup. Just how big is this game for the club, especially considering you're on your home patch as well?
Yeah, yeah, it's a big game, isn't it? I think the way Super League teams come into the Challenge Cup now. Obviously, we play lower league opposition first up, and then you're not too far away. We had a really good win in the Challenge Cup to get us to this point, and yeah, you take each game as it comes. Big game, get to a semi, one game away from Wembley. I think players always get excited by that. You don't get this until later in the season. Generally, these kind of opportunities. The Challenge Cup sort of moved around a little bit in the recent past, and it gives you an early opportunity to get to a game of real significance. So, yeah, just get our performance right. The rest will look after itself. But I always think players should get excited by the prospect of being in big games like we have. I mean, it's a big game. You have an opportunity to get an even bigger game. So yeah, it's a good opportunity for us.
I know you don't want to look too far ahead, but Wakefield are the only current Super League club yet to reach a major final in the modern era. I'm sure you'd love to change that as a group.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I think belief's growing as well within the group. We've come in the Super League this year, and I think we're pretty much written off by most people, to be honest, which gives us motivation. And I think a lot of when we're winning games, a lot of people are talking about it being under 12s, tries conceded, and things like that. I just think I just keep talking about it. We'll just keep going about our work the way we want to go about it, and confident that we've got good depth and we've got good players in each position. And I've said all along we'll lose games, but we're not losing by much if we do lose. And the attitude and commitment from the players is always outstanding every single week, which is if you are doing that, then you're in a great place. And we feel like we've got a lot of talent in the group, and with like saying that depth that probably has surprised us a little bit. Never mind people outside of our place, just some of our players. A lot of players got an opportunity to play early, and I think and they're all growing, they're all getting better, which is awesome to see.
Yeah, just finally, beliefs growing on the terraces as well. I'm sure you'd love to pack out Bellevue on Friday.
Well, it's been packed out pretty much every game so far, so I don't think this will be any different. Obviously it's the Challenge Cup, and we talked a couple of weeks back about the Challenge Cup and the crowds that the Challenge Cup gets. Hopefully, we're going to be full here, and the atmosphere has been pretty special so far. Hopefully, we can do that again. It'd be awesome.
Nice one. Thank you very much, Darrell. All the best for Friday. Cheers.
Thank you.
Hi, Daryl. It's Martin here.
How are you doing?
Not too bad. You as well, I hope. And hopefully, from your point of view, you're going to crack this home hoodoo. After 3 games, 3 defeats at home, and 3 brilliant wins away. It's about time to change it. But do you prepare any differently for a Challenge Cup game, Daryl? Is there any difference to preparing for a normal game?
Not really. I think the mentality of you need to win the game is a little bit different, but I don't think you prepare any different. We try and be as meticulous as we can anyway in terms of preparation. Make sure that the players know what we're doing individually, collectively. To make sure our motivation's in the right place. Make sure we know everything about the opposition. I don't think it's any different. I think it's more game day where you know you're either
It's do or
win the
die.
game or you're out. That's it, really. But the preparation is pretty much the same.
Do you think it's a good thing having the Challenge Cup early in the season like this? Or, I think when you played, it was held much later in the season with a climax nearer to the end of the season. I just wonder how you feel. Does it impact upon the way the Challenge Cup is viewed by clubs and players and coaches?
But I think players value the Challenge Cup massively. I think it's been outside of that really. It's becomes more down to the financial side of things really. For me, I think it's an awesome competition that should be revered. I think looking at it from that perspective, having it earlier on in the season is probably a good thing, with the grand final becoming as big as it has. And look, I think it just for coaches and players, look, we just do as we're told. The game's where they are. It is what it is. We just crack on, and I think if you can move from one to another and do it well, then I think it's a big sort of positive to have in your armory, and I think we've been pretty good at that. I think it's an iconic competition that everybody wants to win. So we're in that boat, same as everybody else.
And it must be a bit strange playing the same team on two successive weeks. And it's difficult. Who has the advantage when, you went and beat them convincingly. They will have seen how well you can play and maybe had an insight into your tactics. Do they come with any sort of advantage, or do you have the advantage because you've demonstrated to them that you can beat them come what may?
Well, I think we'll find out, won't we? I think motivation ebbs and flows throughout the year. That's why I was talking about making sure that ours is consistent, really, which I think it is. I'm not seeing anything from the boys that means that that's gonna dip off. I think the fact that it's a different competition adds a slightly different slant to it. But we've been talking all week about we've played a certain way, we've defended a certain way. I'm pretty confident that they will come up with ways that they think they can break that down, and the key for us is to try and make sure that we're smart enough to deal with that. I mean, in a couple of weeks' time, we play Castleford twice in 3 weeks, so work that one out if you can on the fixture list. But
Yeah, that shouldn't happen.
yeah, but look, we're not worried about anything other than, look, this game's in front of us. We've played one game. We wanted to play well in that game, and we did. And we have to deal with this that's in front of us now. A tough game against opposition that we know will be highly motivated. They've got, the way they're talking about, getting key players back and then being a big part of it adds something to them. So we're mindful we need to play well again, and we're confident we will. And it should be a great game. I think it'll be buzzing here on Friday night, and it should be an awesome game. We know they'll come to play, and we certainly will.
Can I just ask about one player who I've been quite impressed with this year of yours, and that's Liam Hood, who's in the final year of his contract, and I think is playing as well as ever. I mean, I've not seen every minute of every game he's played, so he might have had some bad moments that I've not seen. But bearing in mind that you've got a couple of other young hookers behind him, Tom Doyle, who's obviously out at the moment, and young Harvey Smith, who's also looked impressive to me when he's been on the pitch, and you've signed this kid Tyson Smoothy next year. So it looks as though Liam is probably on his way out at the club at the end of this year. Is that a fair thing to say, or is there a chance that he might actually stay with you for another year or two after this?
Well, I mean, I won't go into that too much, but one thing I will say, he's been phenomenal, Uddy. There's a few different things about him. Look, his personality is fantastic. He's the sort of kid you want to have around your club because he brightens things up. He's a great personality. I think he's one of the best hookers in the comp at the moment. To be honest, I think he's dangerous, super dangerous, as Leigh found out close to the line last week. And you mentioned about him having some bad moments. He hasn't had too many, to be honest. He started the season really well. I think he missed the OKR game, but he's been phenomenal. Yeah, love him as a bloke. Reminds me a lot of Paul McShane, to be honest. A guy I coached in the past who had so many good qualities to his game. So yeah, he's been awesome.
Pitsy, just tell us first of all, what's the mood like among the group ahead of a huge Challenge Cup game?
Yeah, it's really positive. Obviously, Last week was a really good week for us, and yeah, we've come in this week, bouncing, getting us head around what opportunity we've got here, and yeah, training's been really good.
You'll have gone through it before, but how strange is it when you're coming up against the same opposition?
Yeah, it's quite strange. Obviously, yeah, we're obviously focusing on winning the league, and then you play them in the week after in the Challenge Cup. It's sort of it's a different competition, so it's sort of starting again from the beginning and using it as a totally different week and expecting the best team that Leigh can field and the best league team that they've got to be able to come at us. So yeah, we're under no illusions that it's going to be a really tough game, and but something that we're really confident in as well.
Do you have to expect them to be extra motivated given the fact you beat them last week?
Oh well, yeah. I think when you beat anybody, the next time you play them, that there's extra motivation there, isn't there? But there's also the motivation of being in a semi-final after this as well. So yeah, we really are. We're expecting the best league team, and we're preparing the best we can to make sure that we can get the job done.
You've never played in a Challenge Cup semi-final for Wakefield. What would it mean to you to get one win away from Wembley this year?
Yeah, it'd be amazing. Obviously, everyone wants a really good cup run anyway, and we're no different here. And yeah, personally, I'd love to play in a semi-final for Wakefield, and then who knows what could happen. But yeah, firstly, we've got to get through this one first. Like I said, it's a really tough game and one that we're not obviously taking lightly. We've got to be really on to be able to get the result.
You've played in two previous quarterfinals for Wakefield. Can you remember which they were?
No, I slept since then, mate.
Your
I
debut
not
season in
played a
08.
lot of games, mate.
I know you have. Your debut season in 08, you beat Oldham in the quarterfinals.
Yeah. We
But
actually
you didn't play in the semis after
uh,
that.
that was it. I think that was at Donny, wasn't it? That after that was the semi-final.
Yeah, the one after that was yeah. So the semi final after that, yeah, in 08 was Donny in the semi final,
Yeah.
and then in 2022 you played in the quarter final against Wigan.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so bring back memories.
Yeah, I remember that one, yeah.
Like you say, you've played a lot of games since then.
Yeah.
You've played a lot of minutes as well. How much do you pride yourself on the minutes that you're grinding through these days?
I don't. It's not so much down to the minutes. I think it's the qual. It's what I can do whilst I'm on the pitch. Really, if Pauli and the staff are happy with the quality of work that I'm doing and I'm helping the lads with what I'm doing, then I'll stay out there as long as I can. So it's not so much about the minutes that I'm playing because I'll play as long as I possibly can minutes wise and that. But I've just got to make sure that it's really consistent and it's quality that I'm adding to the team more than anything.
Is there any sort of competition though between the middles as to who's playing the most minutes at the moment? Obviously, big Mikey's out there, isn't he?
Yeah.
Way out there.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
is there any sort
I
of
don't know if there's
rivalry?
competition. Yeah, I don't know if there's competition about how many minutes we play. I think we all mids, we all value each other's work, and that I said each and every player that's playing are doing quality stuff, regardless of how long they're playing. So there's no rivalry on how long players play and things like that. It's more about what you can deliver whilst you're on the field. So, and at the moment, I feel like as middles are delivering pretty well on that.
Pauli was just saying you were telling him you were 31 early today or something. You're playing like you're only just 30. Do you feel like there's plenty of life left in the old dog yet?
Yeah, well, I think I've convinced myself I'm 31 now, so I think if I convince myself, I can keep going, can't I? No, yeah, I feel fine. Like I say, I'm recovering all right, and I'm enjoying my rugby. So I'll play as long as. The biggest thing for me is that I want to play and I want to contribute. I don't want to be hanging about and just being a spare part in the team. And I pride myself on doing my work and doing my work to the best of my ability as well and helping the team. And as long as I'm doing that, then I'll keep playing.
Because I think, are you contracted up to the end of this season? Have you got an
Yeah,
option for
and
next year?
no, not yet, no. But yeah, I'm up to end of this year, and then we'll see what happens, mate.
And is that what you would base it on, whether you feel like your contribution?
Yeah, and obviously if the club are happy with me as well, like I said, that's the biggest thing. If the club are happy with me and we're all happy, then I'd happily stay and play on. So yeah, it's a conversation for down the line, but I would definitely say I'd still be interested. Yeah.
Powley is definitely happy with you. He's just been singing your praises. Just talk to us about the relationship that you have with him, because obviously I don't think he'd have touched your career up until last year.
No, never really met Polly until he came in here really, and he's helped my game massively. The way that he analyzes the game and the structure that he plays the game fits perfectly with me, and I think the standards that he's brought in with the other coaching staff and the players that he's brought in is has been great for me personally. He pushes me, he tests me as well and helps me grow still at it to be a better player now. So yeah, and that's all you want as a player, really. You want challenging, but you also want to be delivering on that as well. So he's really honest, and he's been great for my game. So yeah, I can't say anything much higher there, really.
Just lastly from me before I pass you on, you've gone all the way in the Challenge Cup. You've played at Wembley. What does the Challenge Cup mean to you in this day and age?
I think it's the best cup around. To be fair, mate. I really do think when you go down there and you're playing one, and the last time I played in one, it didn't quite work out. It gives you the hunger to want to get back, and yeah, and I'm no different. Everybody else is in the same, but everyone wants to play at Wembley. But the experience to play there and to do it again would be amazing. But that's like I say, it's a long way down the line yet. There's a lot of games to come up between that and a lot of challenges. So yeah, it'd be awesome to go back to Wembley and to play there again. But like I said, we're not looking any further than Leigh. Leigh's a massive challenge this week, and we've got to just make sure that we're on to be able to get to the next step.
Well done, mate. Good luck on Friday.
Cheers, mate. Nice speaking to you, mate.
I'll pass you over, pal.
Thank you.
Hi, Jay. It's Gary. All right.
Hi, mate. Yeah, good to you.
Yeah, good. Thank you. I might make you sound old again here, although you are still 10 years younger than me. So, as your career's gone on, have you altered anything you sort of do off the field to prepare for the games on the field, like recovery and rest and things like
that? No, not really. Through my career, I generally, I've been quite, well, I feel like I've been quite professional in everything that I've done. I look after myself, and yeah, I don't think there's been much change in that aspect. I I think I'm just fortunate at the moment that I'm able to recover really well and can stay on the field, which is obviously a massive one, touch wood. So yeah, but no, nothing's really changed.
Now, you've played 13 and back row all your career, 13 mostly for the last few years. How has the 13 all evolved over the course of your career, maybe? Because it's kind of gone from ball playing forward to more third prop, hasn't it?
Yeah, it sort of went through different stages, didn't it? Like you said, it were a ball playing 13, and then it evolved into more of a prop forward 13, where everybody really direct, and it's sort of done a full circle, sort of back to that ball playing loose forward now, in which sort of suits my game. Obviously, I'm not the biggest middle that you're going to see, so if I can help the team by organising a little bit and being able to pull some shape when needed and have some control in that middle, then that's what I like to take control of. But like I said, there's other players in the team that can do it as well. I just think we're just working really, really well together as a unit at the moment, and the secret is getting the balance right, and I think we're sort of getting there at the moment. So, but yeah, like I say, I'm enjoying my rugby, and yeah, I'm looking forward for this weekend.
And do you think that evolution of 13 back into a more ball playing role is better for the game as a whole, maybe, rather than just having extra prop passer?
Personally, I do, yeah, because I that's how I sort of play. So I think it's better for the game. I think it's more free flowing. I think it creates a lot more opportunities as long as there's some balance to it. So yeah, I think it's better for the game, but you might have some 6'5", 125 kg looks forward sat here saying, "Nah, I want to run through people." So yeah, it's whoever you really ask, really. But yeah, personally for me, I think it suits the game.
And the team you're playing on Friday have shown that the cup can almost like launch a club to that top table, can't it? Because Leigh won the cup and have sort of blossomed into a team that contend in the league as well, aren't they?
Yeah, like I said, it's a total separate competition, isn't it? And like I said, Leigh have done really well in the competition in previous years, and they'll be backing themselves to come and bounce back this weekend, sorry, this Friday as well. So we're under no illusions, and we know what opportunity we've got here as well. So yeah, we're preparing really well, and we're just looking forward to getting back out there really and seeing what we can produce.
And Wakefield is a club now that warrants has the structure and everything of being at that top table, hasn't it?
Yeah, we're building right, mate. Yeah, with obviously last year were a big stepping stone for us, the way that we went about as business and the recruitment, and Matt and his family coming in and doing everything. And we've come in this year, and we've done okay so far. We're still learning. We've still got a lot of players, a lot of new players, sorry, that we're still gelling together, and so we've still got a lot of improving to do. But yeah, we're happy with where we're at. But yeah, we've still got some improvement in us, and we know that we've got to keep improving to be able to stay in these sort of games.